Chapter 2565. Capture them, don't let a single one of them escape. An enraged roar could be heard as the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect leader flew over. One of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's ancestors also rushed over, his eyes bloodshot. 1/5 of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet had been destroyed, and the entire planet was in a mess. Compared to the previous destruction of a skyscraper, this time's destruction was undoubtedly much more tragic. Retreat. The Dragon Palace's members sneered when they saw the Seventh Order God King Immortal returning. Roving Demon's voice rang in everyone's ears. Wang. In the next moment, all the members of Dragon Palace trembled and disappeared. All of them had left without any injuries. Boom. The furious Rank 9 Heavenly Sect leader slammed his fist into the ground, his body trembling. Dragon Palace. Looking at the destruction around him, the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect leader couldn't help but roar, his eyes bloodshot. Behind him, the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's ancestor was trembling. This time, their million-strong army had gone to Dragon Planet, but they had been beaten back before they could even enter Dragon Planet. Now, Dragon Palace had destroyed 1/5 of their business planet. If not for the Foundation defense system, the entire planet would have been blown to smithereens. This time, their Rank 9 Heavenly Sect had suffered great losses. This, on the planet below, when the undying God Kings who came to destroy the planet left, they looked at the messy planet with ugly expressions. Why did Dragon Palace's people suddenly come here to cause destruction? Didn't Rank 9 Heavenly Sect already kill their way over? How could they still send people over? A few immortal God Kings looked at the destroyed businesses, their faces incomparably dark. Look at the smart computer. Someone said that Rank 9 Heavenly Sect attacked Dragon Planet, but was blocked outside. 15 battleships were all destroyed, and Rank 9 Heavenly Sect fled. At this time, a voice came from not far away. The surrounding people were slightly stunned and immediately turned on the smart computer. As expected, the news had already spread like wildfire on the smart computer. Rank 9 Heavenly Sect had gathered 80% of their forces and led their disciples to destroy Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. But now, there were 15 battleships wreckage in the void. Some undying God Kings claimed that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect had completely fled. They couldn't even break through Dragon Star's defenses. This news shocked everyone. At first, many people didn't believe it, but when someone was teleported to the Dragon Palace, they found that everything was true. Who would have thought that it would be like this? Fuck, this is unbelievable. The entire level 9 sky couldn't break through Dragon Star's defense. Is Dragon Star's defense heaven-defying? That's a 9th grade Heavenly Sect we're talking about. Those God King level battleships were easily destroyed, and the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Empire didn't even have to do anything. This time, the 9th grade Heaven Sect has lost a lot of face. They arrogantly charged over, but in the end, they all escaped in less than 10 minutes. The intelligence system erupted with commotion. Who could have imagined this type of situation? The incomparably powerful 9th grade Heavenly Sect had fled? But very quickly, the news of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet being attacked was sent to the artificial intelligence system. There were pictures of a mess. One by one, the destroyed videos spread like wildfire on the AI. As soon as this news spread, it shook the entire Southstar galaxy once more. We agreed to destroy the Dragon Palace, the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom, and destroy the Dragon Star. What happened? Their own home was bombed? This gap is too big. How ironic. 1/5 of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet was destroyed by 500 God Kings. From the looks of it, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's business planet can't compare to Dragon Star at all. The difference in defense is like heaven and earth. Dragon Star has an incomparably powerful array master. I don't think any force in the entire Southstar galaxy can break through Dragon Star. Dragon Star is the safest business planet. As soon as these two pieces of news spread, countless people discussed. Dragon Star's strength shocked everyone. Later on, someone said that Dragon Star had an incomparably powerful array master. No one could break through, and no one could cause trouble on Dragon Star. As soon as this news came out, Dragon Star's status rose by several levels. Such a safe planet was the best business planet. There was no fear of comparison. The difference between a grade 9 heavenly sex business planet and Dragon Star was like heaven and earth. On the AI, countless people were discussing the strength of Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom. Dragon Star's defense. In the end, it could be concluded that even if Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom were not as strong as the top four forces, they were definitely not weaker than them. In fact, the other four forces could not even break through Dragon Star. But Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom could wantonly destroy their business planet. Dragon Star was also rated as the safest city with the strongest defense in the South Star Galaxy. This caused many people to rush into Dragon Star, and many businesses to enter Dragon Star. Wow, I returned the house on Dragon Star not long ago. Now, it costs 5 times the original price. What the hell, Dragon Star and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom are robbing us, right? You're so stupid and you're blaming others. Do you think Dragon Star is the safest planet in the South Star Galaxy? Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom will raise the price. With the price of the house on Dragon Star, it will probably rise a lot. In the future, there may be a lot of people and businessmen staying here. At this moment, in Dragon Star, when everyone learned that Dragon Palace easily withstood the attack of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, many people rushed towards Dragon Star. Especially those who had bought a house, they immediately came to buy it again. But it was a pity that the price was increased by 5 times this time. If not, get lost. Today's battle had completely established the strength and status of Dragon Star. Now, it could be said that Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom could rival the other 4 forces. And Dragon Star could surpass the other 4 business planets. Wang Xian stood on the planet in the sky and looked down at Dragon Star with a smile. Don't be careless next. Continue to strengthen the security and defense of Dragon Star. You must take revenge and lay the foundation of our Dragon Palace. He said to Sky Formation plainly. Yes, Dragon King. With me around, I guarantee nothing will happen. Sky Formation replied confidently. All right, we'll develop steadily for a period of time. Wang Xian smiled. This time, they had completely established a foothold in the South Star Galaxy. Once the foundation was built, it would be much easier for Dragon Palace to improve rapidly. However, compared to the prosperity of Dragon Star and the celebration of Dragon Palace and chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, everyone at Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was extremely embarrassed. They had not fought for hundreds of thousands of years, but this battle had become a humiliation. Chapter 2566. Today's matter is our Rank 9 Heaven Sect's greatest humiliation. Inside the Rank 9 Heaven Sect, more than 1,000 undying kings gathered in the main hall. At the front, an elder leaned on a chair and closed his eyes, speaking slowly. The 1,000 undying kings in the hall all fell silent. Right now, the entire South Star Galaxy was laughing at them. One Dragon Palace, one chaotic Tiger Kingdom, both greatly damaged their reputations. At the same time, their business planets also suffered great losses. Their reputation and resources suffered great losses. On the contrary, their enemy, the Dragon Palace, rose strongly because of this wave. Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Kingdom's Dragon Planet is something we can't break, but I don't believe they can stop our constant harassment. An undying king's expression changed as he spoke coldly. If we harass them, they can also harass us. This method can harm the enemy by 1,000, but we can also harm ourselves by 2,000. An old man glanced at him and said coldly. The undying king choked and didn't say anything else. We can attack the Chaotic Tiger Kingdom and Dragon Palace's other planets. We don't have to attack their Dragon Planet. However, they're much stronger than we imagined. An elder said with a slight frown on his face. Attacking Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Kingdom's other planets was fine, but the enemy's strength wasn't much weaker than theirs. If they attacked them, they could also retaliate, especially since their business planets could stop them, but they couldn't. The elder's words silenced everyone else. Dragon Palace and Chaotic Tiger Kingdom's strength wasn't something they could touch just because they wanted to. Sect Leader, Elder, 3 Seas Sect, Janwa Corporation, and Black Forest Corporation are requesting an audience. At this moment, a disciple walked in and reported. 3 Seas Sect, Janwa Corporation, Black Forest Corporation? Everyone raised their eyebrows slightly. The sect master of the 9th grade Heaven Sect, who was sitting in front, waved his hand. Let them in. Xinghua Planet's forces? The elder beside him opened his eyes and said faintly, 3 Seas Sect, Janwa Corporation, Black Forest Corporation, apologies for disturbing rank 9 Heaven Sect. Very quickly, a dozen middle-aged elders walked in. They scanned the surroundings and their eyes landed on the rank 9 Heaven Sect leader and elder. HM? May I know why you are here? The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's sect leader looked at them and asked indifferently, Sect leader of the Sky Sect, the 3 of us are not beating around the bush. We want to form an alliance with you. Although we know that there is still a huge gap between us and the rank 9 Heavenly Sect, the strength of our 3 forces is not weak either. We wish to form an alliance with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom in the future. Janwa Corporation's CEO directly said. After learning that the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom were so powerful, the ones with the most unsightly expressions weren't the grade 9 Heavenly Sect, but the 3 Seas Sect. Now that Xinghua Planet had been destroyed by the Dragon Palace and 3 Seas Sect had become stray dogs, the Janwa Corporation and the Black Forest Corporation had to tread carefully. After some consideration, the 3 great powers came to see if they could form an alliance with the grade 9 Heavenly Sect. If the grade 9 Heavenly Sect agreed, it would be much easier for them to deal with the Dragon Palace in the future, and they could even completely suppress it. Oh! The eyes of the 9th grade Heaven Sect's sect leader flickered as he looked at the people from the 3 great powers. The 3 major forces were once able to establish a commercial planet, and their strength was not to be underestimated. With the alliance of the 3 factions, they had more than 1,200 undying god kings. Even though the 3 Seas Sect had lost some, they still had more than 1,000. The grade 9 Heavenly Sect was also very clear about their motives for coming to the alliance. The Dragon Palace, Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom had destroyed their business planet. The 3 factions also wanted revenge. We, the 9th grade Heaven Sect, have no objections to the alliance, but the matter of dealing with the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom in the future, the sect master of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect said without hiding anything. Sect leader, we can form an alliance first. As for dealing with the Dragon Palace and the Chaotic Tiger Demon Kingdom, we can take our time. There's no need to rush. They have powerful formation grandmasters, but in reality, they are not as strong as the grade 9 Heavenly Sect. We will eventually have a chance to deal with them. The sect master of 3 Seas Sect spoke with a sinister expression. That's true. A faint smile appeared on the face of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect Master. Since that's the case, let's form an alliance first. As for how to deal with them, we'll decide based on the situation. An old man from the grade 9 Heavenly Sect stood up and made his decision. All right. The 3 Seas Sect Master and the others revealed looks of delight. What? Something big has happened again. The 3 Seas Sect, the Janwa Group, the Black Forest Group, the Monster Slayer Sect, and the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect have announced an alliance. What's going on? The 5 major forces actually announced an alliance? It was not strange for the Monster Slayer Sect to form an alliance with the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. However, why would the 3 Seas Sect, the Jianhua Corporation, and the Black Forest Corporation suddenly form an alliance with the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect? Is it to deal with the Dragon Palace and the Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom? Isn't this alliance too terrifying? One of the top powers in the South Star system, the rest are all former top 10 powers. Doesn't that mean they have more than 2,000 undying god kings? Looks like they are going to fight a protracted war with Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom. In less than 2 hours, 3 Seas Sect, Janwa Corporation, and Black Forest Corporation announced their alliance. Very quickly, the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect also made an announcement. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. In the eyes of the outside world, it was obvious that the five forces had joined forces to deal with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom. This news caused quite a stir, and there was a lot of discussion. Some people said that the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom might be finished. Some people said that the Dragon Palace and Dragon Star would not be destroyed, but their area of activity in the South Star system would be greatly reduced in the future. Some people guessed that even if the five forces could not break the defense of Dragon Star, they could still create a barrier for the Dragon Palace. This barrier was that it would be very dangerous for the disciples of the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom to leave their territories in the future. Some forces also guessed that the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was prepared to fight a protracted war with the Dragon Palace and Tiger Luan Demon Kingdom to see who would be exhausted first. The alliance of the five forces had shocked many people and forces. Alliance, how interesting. When Wang Xian saw this news, his expression did not change much. Even the alliance of the five forces could not break the defense of Dragon Star, and they might not dare to come and cause trouble. At most, they would be ambushed when they were outside their territories. Five forces, do you think I will be afraid of you just because you have joined forces? Wang Xian's face revealed a cold expression. When the Dragon Palace had absolute strength, the first thing Wang Xian wanted to do was to eliminate the five forces. He wanted them to know the consequences of offending the Dragon Palace. Chapter 2567. Days passed. Ever since the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect attacked Dragon Star, their business planets were destroyed. By the time Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, Monster Slayer Sect, 3 Seas Sect, Black Forest Group, and Janwa Group announced their alliance, a year had passed. Within this year, nothing special happened in the South Star Galaxy, and there were no more battles or killings. Everything was peaceful. Dragon Palace had completely sunk in this 1 year. The foundation had been laid. Every day, the members of Dragon Palace were improving rapidly. Within a year, Dragon Palace had gained close to 400 Immortal King experts. Basically, there would be one every day. As Dragon Star stabilized, and all the battle pets were sold, Dragon Palace's strength also slowed down. But one Immortal King a day was still achievable. During this 1 year, Dragon Star and Dragon Star's training grounds were always full of people. Just by relying on the training grounds, Dragon Palace could obtain a large amount of resources every day. SSSSSSS. A year later, in Dragon Palace, the sound of tongues being swallowed could be heard. All right, I've helped you reach 5th Order Immortal King. I'm a man of my word. On the Dragon Palace planet, Wang Xian looked at the erect serpent before him and spoke to the Emperor Star Maiden beside him with a smile. You said you'd help me in 2 years. It's been more than 2 years now. How insincere. Emperor Star Maiden stood in front of the snake with excitement in her eyes, but she still rolled her eyes at Wang Xian. I was going to ask you to be my bait for 2 years. Isn't it because I'm too kind? Wang Xian smiled and continued to bicker with her. Over the past year, Wang Xian had been much more relaxed. Every day, he would play with the girls, and Emperor Star Maiden Yin Xian would sing for him. Life couldn't be more comfortable. All right, there's something to deal with. Cultivate well. Look at you, only 9th Order Eternal God Lord. Sigh. Seeing Prime Minister Turtle walking over, Wang Xian teased Emperor Star Maiden and left. With my 9th Order Eternal God Lord strength, I can scare people to death when I return to the Imperial Court. But, Emperor Star Maiden glared at him, but when she thought of Yin Xian and Shuqing's strength, her face fell. Each of them had the strength of a 3rd or 4th Order Immortal King. Compared to them, she was like a little sister. Dragon King, the investigation is almost done, said Prime Minister Turtle when he saw Wang Xian walking over. Well, let's make a plan. Wang Xian nodded his head. The Dragon Palace had settled down for a year. If it continued to develop like this, it would maintain its current speed. Such a situation would be heaven-defying to any other forces. But to Wang Xian, it was too slow. Yes, it was too slow. Although Dragon Palace could gain one more Undying God King every day, it was much harder to increase the number of Undying God Kings. This would require at least half a month, or even a month, to raise the strength of an undying God King to the second level. Such a slow improvement was not what Wang Xian wanted to see. This is some information about the Abyss. There is a lot of information about the Abyss on the Wisdom Brain, but you need to search it. The mysterious demon and the others have gone ahead to investigate. If we can kill a large number of Abyss species, we can improve the Dragon Palace rapidly. Prime Minister Turtle handed over a set of documents to Wang Xian. Wang Xian took it and started reading. In this dazzling world, humans were not the rulers of this place. The South Star Galaxy was considered a relatively safe place. But the galaxy next to the South Star Galaxy, and one of the 3 small islands in the Imperial Star Domain, Demon Island, were all under threat. In the entire Imperial Star Domain, the greatest threat was the Abyss species. The so-called Abyss species was a type of monster that lived in the cracks of space. In the starry sky of Demon Island, there was a huge fluctuation of space, and there was another world in the cracks. The Abyss species belonged to the products of that world. They were extremely violent and had a strong killing instinct. At least tens of millions of inhabited planets were under the threat of the Abyss. Many experts had entered the starry sky around Demon Island and entered the Abyss to hunt the Abyss species. The Abyss species had a pure law core in their bodies, which was extremely beneficial to the cultivation of an undying God King. The Abyss species were the targets of the Dragon Palace this time. But entering the Abyss was not 100% safe. The greatest enemy of the entire Imperial Star Domain was the Abyss species. In other words, within the Abyss, there was a terrifying Abyss species like the Void God Emperor. I can go and take a look first. The sky array is guarding Dragon Star. Wang Xian looked at the information on it and said to Prime Minister Turtle, "Dragon King, there's one more thing. Recently, the sky array discovered that someone is monitoring our every move." Prime Minister Turtle frowned slightly. It should be the 9th grade Heavenly Sect and the other forces. Not long ago, a group of experts from the chaotic Tiger Demon country brought their disciples out for training and never returned. From the looks of their god nation, they were killed. Prime Minister Turtle added, "They are preparing to fight a protracted war with us, and are prepared to restrict us to this area." Wang Xian sneered, "Ignore them. When our Dragon Palace is strong enough, it will be time for them to be annihilated." Prime Minister Turtle nodded. Currently, the Dragon Palace had over 2,000 undying God Kings, but there were only 2 7th-order God Kings. When the Dragon Palace had enough 7th-order God Kings, it would be time for them to be annihilated. I'll head to the Abyss to investigate first. I'll leave the matters of the Dragon Palace to you," said Wang Xian to Prime Minister Turtle. After which, he informed the girls. Looking at the map on the AI, Wang Xian moved and headed to the teleportation formation. With his current 7th-order God King strength, he could do whatever he wanted in the South Star Galaxy. Therefore, Wang Xian did not hide anything. Dragon King is out. He has left the Dragon Palace and the chaotic Tiger Demon country's territory through the teleportation formation. When Wang Xian left, a message was sent to a planet in the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's territory. Dragon King is heading to a planet at the edge of the Devil Islands. He should be heading to the Abyss. Soon the message was sent there. Wang Xian did not mind that his tracks were being followed. Without 5 to 6 7th-order God King realm immortal kings, they would not be able to stop him. Is the Abyss ahead? At this moment, Wang Xian was flying in the void, looking at the world in front of him. In front of him, there was an incomparably deep darkness. In the darkness, there were continents floating above it. On the continents, there was a figure walking out. Beside the continents, there was an obvious crack in space, the bottom of which could not be seen. Chapter 2568, Abyss. Wang Xian flew forward quickly and landed on a land plate. On the plate, there were simple houses. The land with a radius of tens of millions of kilometers was bustling with activity. There were many people, but none of them were below the level of the Eternal God Lord. There were no guards on the plate, which meant that there were no restrictions here. Humans could kill each other at will here. However, Wang Xian did not see anyone fighting here. Clearly, This land plate could not withstand strong attacks. Perhaps there was an unspoken rule that no fighting could take place here. Wang Xian kept flying forward and soon came to the edge of the land plate. When he came to the edge, he saw a pitch-black entrance to the abyss. The entrance was very irregular, and it was pitch-black inside. Vision was greatly obstructed. Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and flew in without hesitation. Around him, there were many people flying out of the abyss or entering it. As soon as he entered, Wang Xian immediately sensed some changes in the empty space around him. The space inside was extremely sturdy, unlike the outside where powerful attacks could tear the space apart. It's just like what the AI said. Wang Xian's eyes lit up. The abyss was very scary. Once you entered the abyss, you could not return to your own holy kingdom. The surrounding space will confine you here. It's impossible for you to escape. The deeper you went, the stronger the confinement. Even eternal god kings could not think of returning to their eternal holy kingdom immediately. The greatest threat of the abyss was here. It was extremely difficult to exterminate the abyss species. However, there is also an advantage to this. The abyss species could not return to their nest instantly. Wang Xian murmured. This was like a special space. Wang Xian flew for thousands of kilometers in the abyss and saw a huge land in the pitch-black abyss ahead. There were some special plants on the land. This is the habitat of the abyss species? Wang Xian took a look and his eyes lit up. Once there were any floating forests, lands, mountains, flames, or rivers in the abyss, it meant that there were all kinds of abyss species living here. In front of him, all the abyss species had either been killed or had escaped. The abyss was huge with countless entrances. The entire abyss was interconnected. However, the more abyss entrances a place had, the more dangerous it was. This vast abyss is like an incomparably huge ocean. It's a little difficult to hunt abyssal demons, and it's also full of danger. Wang Xian mumbled to himself. With a jerk of his body, he continued to fly in another direction. Occasionally, he would bump into people around him, and there were even groups of people coming over. It could be said that an abyss-type law crystal could allow a cultivator to improve rapidly. Even if this place was dangerous, people would still come to take the risk. And there were quite a few of them. After flying for half an hour, Wang Xian was already more than 10 billion kilometers away from the exit of the abyss. At this moment, a few shadows in front of him caught his attention. He looked over and saw two pitch-black figures that looked like cockroaches flitting across the void, directly attacking him. He narrowed his eyes slightly and waved his arm. The restrictive power of the 5 elemental laws directly restrained him. G. A sharp and ear-piercing sound entered Wang Xian's ears, which surprised him. Wang Xian waved his arm and the 2 abyssal demons revealed themselves. They had blood-red eyes with a tinge of green, long noses, thin mouths like mosquitoes, and bodies like cockroaches. Bam! Wang Xian gently squeezed his arm, and one of the abyssal demons exploded. There was a law crystal in its body. This was a green law crystal. The 2 abyssal demons were at the eternal Lord God level. He sensed the energy within them. A law crystal was equivalent to the entire corpse of a wild beast of the same level. The corpse of the abyssal demons also contained a lot of energy. In other words, the corpse of an abyssal demon was equivalent to the energy of 2 wild beasts of the same level. This is much higher than the wild beasts. The AI said that the abyssal demons have no intelligence and only know how to hunt. Let's give it a try. After nearly 2 hours, Wang Xian finally found 2 abyssal demons. Soul capture. This was the first time Wang Xian used the soul capture on these creatures with low intelligence. In an instant, a bloody scene appeared in his mind. At a place that looked like a beach, countless abyssal demons broke out of their shells. The first thing they did after breaking out of their shells was to kill and devour the surrounding abyssal demons. After which, they hunted in the vast abyss. The stronger abyssal demons would subdue the weaker ones and form a group. They would eat the weaker ones of their own kind. As long as they devoured their own kind, they could evolve rapidly. It seemed that as long as they devoured more law crystals, they could grow endlessly. However, Wang Xian soon discovered that these abyssal demons preferred human blood. There were a few scenes where they ambushed humans that entered the abyss and sucked all their blood dry. One more thing. These abyssal demons seemed to have a very strong sense of smell. Wang Xian murmured. Just this abyssal demon of fifth-order immortal king realm could smell humans within a radius of hundreds of millions of kilometers. Under normal circumstances, an area of hundreds of millions of kilometers was the detection limit of an immortal king. The AI also discovered that the abyssal demons are bloodthirsty. Some forces are using large amounts of wild beast blood to attract the abyssal demons. Wang Xian murmured. He hesitated for a moment and moved his palm. Let's see if the divine dragon blood can attract the abyssal demons. Wang Xian murmured. At least 50 kilograms of divine dragon blood appeared in front of him. This was all his blood. 50 kilograms of divine dragon blood was nothing to Wang Xian, who had a height of more than 10,000 meters. However, for other creatures, this was an incomparably huge energy pool. It should be more effective than the blood of wild beasts. He murmured as he let the blood float in the void. He took out the 5 elements grindstone and set up a concealment array. At the same time, his yin and yang concealment ability was fully displayed. If the blood of the divine dragon is useful, it will be a great thing for the dragon palace. If it's not useful, I will need to enter the more dangerous entrance of the abyss to hunt a large number of abyssal demons. At that time, there might be casualties. Wang Xian murmured as he waited quietly. However, in less than a minute, Wang Xian sensed a strange movement in the surroundings. Under his senses, a few abyssal demons were flying towards him at a terrifying speed. It's useful. His face lit up. Chapter 2569. 2 Level 1 Undying God King Level Abyssal Species, and 1 Eternal God Lord Pinnacle Abyssal Species on the right. Wang Xian scanned the surroundings with his yin-yang 5 elements dragon eyes and saw 3 abyssal species flying towards him. Their green eyes stared at the divine dragon blood in front of them, filled with greed and passion. Close. When they were about 100 kilometers away from the divine dragon blood, Wang Xian made his move. He clawed his arm and the abyssal species that were flying towards him trembled slightly. Wang Xian grabbed it in his hand. Bam! With a slight movement of his palm, he killed it. Not bad, killing 2 Undying God King level abyssal species with ease. Wang Xian waved his arm and threw the 3 corpses into his spatial ring, his eyes shining brightly. If the divine dragon blood can attract these abyssal species quickly, the Dragon Palace can make use of this to kill them quickly and get their corpses. Wang Xian murmured and decided to fly deeper. The entire abyss was so vast that even the emperors in the imperial court had not fully explored the entire abyss. Moreover, if an emperor entered this place, it would attract the emperor-level abyssal species. After flying for 2 hours, Wang Xian had already stepped into the deepest region of the abyss. With his current strength, he could be considered as an expert in the dazzling starry vast world. After 2 hours of flying at full speed, he had already covered an extremely long distance. When he first entered, he could still see many people. Now, he could no longer see them. Almost there. Wang Xian murmured and immediately set up a concealment array. His body was completely hidden and he placed the divine dragon blood at the side. Following which, he waited patiently. Zhi. As time passed, Wang Xian could vaguely hear an ear-piercing sound. They're here. The divine dragon blood is indeed very attractive to these abyssal species. He squinted his eyes and looked ahead. His eyes were filled with joy. Zhi. The ear-piercing sound was getting closer and soon, dozens of black bird-shaped abyssal species with green eyes flew over. There are 10 Undying God King level abyssal species. Great, another huge harvest. Wang Xian murmured. Suddenly, he felt that hunting the abyss species was too easy. Among the 10 abyss demons, the strongest was only a 3rd order Undying God King. When they entered Wang Xian's attack range, he easily caught them all with a wave of his arm. Very good. With a wave of his arm, he killed it and threw it into the mother nest. Let's continue waiting here. Wang Xian did not leave but continued to hide in the surroundings. This time, after waiting for half an hour, another group of abyssal species appeared. This time, there were more than 100 Undying God King level beasts with a 5th order Undying God King as the leader. This made Wang Xian extremely excited. He had captured so many abyss species in just one day. This harvest was too terrifying. We have to summon the members of the Dragon Palace and use the dragon blood in the dragon transformation pool to attract them. This will allow the strength of the Dragon Palace to increase crazily. He hesitated for a moment and decided to stay in the abyss for a few more days. In the next few days, Wang Xian used the dragon blood to attract the abyss species. The most he attracted was a group of abyss species flying in the void. There were more than 10,000 of them and over 100 Undying God Kings. However, it was a pity that the leader of this group was an 8th order Undying God King. After Wang Xian sensed it, he did not even bother to use the dragon blood and immediately fled. Haha. After escaping from that group of abyss species, Wang Xian heard excited and ear-piercing screams coming from behind. That 8th order Undying God King must have devoured his blood. Phew, over 500 corpses of Undying God King abyss species in half a month. This is a huge harvest. I can definitely summon the members of the Dragon Palace over. This way, the harvest will be even greater. Wang Xian murmured as he flew towards the exit of the abyss. Wang Xian had already investigated the basic situation of the abyss. With the dragon blood as bait, he could definitely summon the members of the Dragon Palace over. After using 6 hours to return to the exit, Wang Xian immediately took out the AI to inform Prime Minister Turtle and the rest. Send the mysterious demon, roving crab, fire hammer race, berserk dragon species over. About 300 Undying God King level members. Bring over 5,000 caddies of dragon blood from the dragon transformation pool. Wang Xian instructed Prime Minister Turtle. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle replied immediately. Roving Yao, Duan Jinming, Roving Heavens, Roving Qi, each of you bring over 60 underlings. Roving Crab, follow them and head towards Dragon King. Within the Dragon Palace, Prime Minister Turtle immediately called the few leaders over. Also, Roving Yao, hide with the other spiky dragon species and don't get discovered. Prime Minister Turtle's eyes flashed as he reminded. Yes. Roving Yao nodded slightly. Roving Crab, bring the dragon blood and meet up with Dragon King. Roving Yao, Roving Heavens and the rest nodded and immediately flew out of Dragon Star towards Wang Xian's location. Members of the Dragon Palace have come out. According to the investigation, there are 4 6th order Undying God Kings and the rest are over 130 Undying God Kings. They should be heading towards the abyss. Dragon King entered the abyss half a month ago and there's no trace of him there. They should be meeting up with Dragon King. Not long after Roving Yao and the rest came out, news spread secretly to a planet within the 9th grade Heavenly Sex territory. At this moment, in a huge hall on the planet, over 100 Undying God King experts were sitting there, reading the news. We know that Dragon King and over 100 Dragon Palace disciples have entered the abyss. Everyone should be aware of the situation there. I feel that this is an opportunity for us. The sect leader of the 3 Seas sect scanned the surroundings and said with flickering eyes, "The abyss is so huge. It's going to be difficult to find him." The sect leader of the Monster Slayer sect frowned and said softly, "This is a good opportunity. However, the abyss is too huge. It's going to be extremely difficult to find him. However, if we don't go, the chances will be even slimmer. We can send people over. Even if we can't find the Dragon King, we can focus on killing the abyss species and distribute them." An expert from the Janhua group pondered for a moment and said, "However, if we want to make a move, the old ancestors of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect must take action. Otherwise, that Dragon King will be able to annihilate all of us." An expert from the Black Forest group looked at the people from the 9th grade Heavenly Sect. "It's impossible for all of us to go over. However, it's sufficient for one to go over to deal with the Dragon King. The rest of us can eliminate the rest of the subordinates of the Dragon King. The people from the 9th grade heavenly sect pondered for a moment and nodded their heads. Chapter 2570. What Wang Xian did not know was that the 9th grade heavenly sect and their alliance had also sent their people over. They were just here to try their luck. If they could meet people from Dragon Palace, they would. If not, they would hunt some abyss demons. However, what the 9th grade heavenly sect did not know was that Dragon Palace's spike dragon was hidden within. Secondly, Ao Sierra alone could represent the entire race of the devouring dragon. Within his body, there were 500 Immortal King Realm experts, including 2 6th Order Immortal King Realm experts. On the surface, Dragon Palace had only sent 140 experts. 5 hours later, Wang Xian saw a group of experts from Dragon Palace rushing towards the entrance of the abyss. Dragon King. The group of Dragon Palace members greeted him respectfully. "Let's go." Wang Xian looked at them and said with a smile, "Yes, Dragon King." The group of Dragon Palace members nodded and followed behind. After entering the abyss, Wang Xian and the group flew in at a terrifying speed. That seems to be the Dragon King from Dragon Palace. I have to say that Dragon Star has risen too fast. Now, it is the most popular planet in our South Star galaxy. It's them. Let's go, our Tianshan Sword sect has no feud with them. Behind them, a few hundred middle-aged and old men saw the group of Dragon Palace entering the abyss and discussed softly. A few hundred people also flew into the abyss. Due to the stability of the South Star galaxy, some experts and forces came to the abyss to hunt for abyss demons. If they were lucky, they could hunt hundreds of them, which was equivalent to hundreds of thousands or even millions of years of hard work. If a God King expert wanted to break through, they would need the support of powerful resources. Dragon Star was already powerful enough, but a year's worth of resources on a member of Dragon Palace could only give him the strength of a 6th Order Immortal King. This was also because the members of Dragon Palace had the bloodline of the Divine Dragon, which made it easy for them to improve. If it was an ordinary person, a year's worth of resources from Dragon Star could help an Immortal King advance from 1st Order to 2nd Order Immortal King. It was extremely difficult for an Immortal King to improve without fighting. Of course, there was a price to pay for fighting. Countless experts were buried in the abyss. There was once a powerful faction in the South Star Galaxy, but all of their top experts had fallen in the abyss, and the entire faction had fallen into decline. Did you bring the dragon blood? After flying forward for 10 hours, Wang Xian found a dilapidated abyssal land floating in it. The land was about 1,000 kilometers in circumference, which was not too small. "Yes, I have." Roving Crab nodded. "You guys will be divided into 3 teams. The center will be about 500 million kilometers apart. Then, place the dragon blood in the void to attract the abyssal species. If you guys can kill the abyssal species on your own, kill them directly. If you can't kill them and there aren't any 7th Order Undying God Kings and above, take the dragon blood and run towards me. If they are too strong, give up on the dragon blood and run." Wang Xian reminded the members of Dragon Palace. "Yes, Dragon King." The group of members nodded and immediately spread out. This time, there were fire gold dragons that had come. All of them had grasped array formations and could completely set up concealment array formations to hide themselves. Only an Undying God King 6th Order and above would be able to detect them. Encountering such an abyssal species, they did not need to hide and directly fled. Roving Demon, Roving Heavens, and the others were spread out over a radius of 2 billion kilometers. Wang Xian placed the dragon blood on a pond on the land in front of him and waited quietly. Half an hour later, a series of roars came from below. The abyssal species came in all shapes and sizes. They could freely evolve their bodies, which was also the reason why they were so strong. Looking at the few Undying God King abyssal species charging towards him, Wang Xian squinted his eyes. The dragon claw reached out and easily caught them and destroyed them. "The dragon blood is so convenient," Wang Xian murmured as he continued to wait. After half an hour without encountering any abyssal species, he immediately changed his position. At other places, the other members of Dragon Palace had also reaped many rewards. Wang Xian and the members of Dragon Palace had maintained a relatively close position, using the dragon blood to lure them. The following month was very smooth. They swept through a huge area and killed over hundreds of thousands of abyssal species, among which there were over 1,000 Undying God Kings, among which there were 5 sixth-order Undying God Kings. Give me 1 to 2 years and Dragon Palace will be able to improve tremendously. These 5 sixth-order Undying God King abyssal species corpses will allow Dragon Palace to produce a 7th-order Undying God King. Wang Xian murmured as he hid and waited with a smile. That is? There are so many abyssal species. At the same time, not far away, a group of middle-aged and old men looked ahead with excitement. In front of them, hundreds of abyssal species were flying towards them. Leading them were dozens of Undying God King abyssal species, the strongest of which was a 4th-order Undying God King. Ah, what great luck! Let's go and capture all these abyssal species. Everyone's faces were filled with excitement. They're here. Everyone, get ready. In front of the hundreds of abyssal species, Roving Heavens stared at the abyssal species flying towards the dragon blood, his eyes gleaming. Wait, Leader Roving, there's a group of people flying towards us. A fire gold dragon species looked up and reminded Roving Heavens. Roving Heavens looked over and squinted his eyes. Mysterious demon, don't show yourself first. The rest of you, kill this group of abyssal species. He swept his gaze across the group, frowned slightly and ordered. Yes. The group of Dragon Palace members nodded their heads. Attack! At this moment, Roving Heavens ordered and a series of terrifying attacks engulfed the hundreds of abyssal species. Rumble! Violent energy engulfed the group of abyssal species instantly. Oh no, Elder, someone is stealing our prey. Above them, the group of people was shocked when they saw the abyssal species they were following being attacked. The other party isn't very strong. Snatch our prey. The leading elder squinted his eyes and stretched out his arm. A huge green palm grabbed towards the abyssal species that was being attacked. Stop, this is the prey that we have lured over. Roving Heavens saw the other party making a move and his eyes turned cold. With a wave of his arm, blood-red chains wrapped around all the abyssal species. Bam bam bam. However, the elder wasn't weak either. The green palm collided with the blood-red chains, creating a loud bang. This is the prey that we are chasing, he said coldly. With a sweep of his palm, he grabbed a portion of the abyssal species corpses. Chapter 2571. Stop! We lured them over. Surround them. Roving Heavens ordered the members of the Dragon Palace as he saw them grabbing a portion of the corpses of the abyss species. Swish, swish, swish. The remaining group of over 60 members of the Dragon Palace surrounded them immediately. Among them, over 20 mysterious demons were hidden in the void. When the group saw the members of the Dragon Palace surrounding them, their faces turned cold. Clang, clang, clang. Everyone took out their weapons immediately and stared coldly at Roving Heavens and his group. Leave the prey in your hands to us. Roving Heavens stared at them with a murderous look in his eyes. Members of the Dragon Palace? At the back, an old man glanced at Roving Heavens and his group and raised his eyebrows. Dragon Palace? The leading old man squinted his eyes. We chased after the abyss species. You guys attacked them directly. You should hand over the corpses of the abyss species to us. Bullshit. We lured them over with our blood. I'm warning you. Hand over the other corpses immediately. Otherwise, don't blame us for being merciless. Roving Heavens clenched his fists and stared at them coldly. Merciless? Do you think the Tianshan Sword Sect is afraid of you? The leading old man revealed a cold look. I'm warning you guys. You'd better not make an enemy out of the Tianshan Sword Sect. Otherwise, you'll die if you make too many enemies. I'm only asking you one question. Are you going to hand it over or not? Roving Heavens asked with a violent look. So what if we don't hand it over? Do you think you can keep us here? Hee, as long as any of our disciples are injured, the Tianshan sword sect will take revenge on you. The old man said with disdain. Boom boom boom. Just as the old man finished his sentence, several figures flew towards them with terrifying auras. The members of the Tianshan sword sect were shocked as they looked to their left and right. Oh no, it's the other experts from the Dragon Palace. A middle-aged man's expression changed. Someone's looking for trouble? At the same time, Wang Xian sensed the signal from roving heavens and raised his eyebrows. His body moved and he flew over at a terrifying speed. Wang Xian had reminded roving heavens and the rest to inform them immediately if they encountered any enemies. Buzz. Wang Xian was not very far from roving heavens and the rest. When he flew over, he immediately saw roving heavens and the rest surrounding a group of people. Ao Xie and the others also led their men over. Oh no. Elder, the Dragon King from the Dragon Palace is here too. Seeing more and more members of the Dragon Palace surrounding them and the Dragon King flying over, the experts of the Tianshan sword sect were shocked. The leading elder's face also revealed an ugly expression. Put away your weapons. He immediately said to the people around him. They were no match for the Dragon King's strength. What happened? Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and asked roving heavens as he looked at the people who were surrounded. Dragon King, they snatched our prey. Roving heavens spoke immediately. Lord Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, I'm an elder of the Sky Mountain Sword sect. We were chasing after a group of abyss demons and were killed by your subordinates. Tell them that the prey belongs to you. The elder of Tianshan sword sect cupped his fist at Wang Xian, introduced himself, and spoke plainly. The abyss species were attracted by our blood. Bring out the prey. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian spoke directly. The people from the Sky Mountain sword sect were not weak. They had a 6th-level immortal king realm expert. Their prey was instantly killed by roving heavens and the rest. Clearly, they were not strong enough. As for the abyss species, they were also attracted by the dragon blood. Dragon King, this is the prey of the Sky Mountain sword sect. The elder of the Sky Mountain sword sect's face darkened as he emphasized the words Sky Mountain sword sect. Clearly, he was trying to intimidate them with his strength. No one can take away the prey of the Dragon Palace, not even the Sky Mountain sword sect. Wang Xian looked at them with disdain. Previously, when Wang Xian stepped into the business planet of the Sky Mountain sword sect, the other party had rejected him directly. Clearly, they wanted to give face to the Sky Mountain sword sect? What a joke! You, the people from the Sky Mountain sword sect looked terrible. Here, let's go. The elder of the Sky Mountain sword sect gritted his teeth and threw out the corpse of the abyss species. Roving heavens immediately took the corpse of the abyss species. Looking at their backs, Wang Xian hesitated. In the end, he did not choose to make a move. If he made a move, Wang Xian was confident that he could make the other party stay. However, there was no need for that. He would not kill the other party for no reason if there was no feud between them. Damn it! That Dragon King did not give face to the Sky Mountain sword sect at all. We saw those abyss species first. He has no respect for the Sky Mountain sword sect at all. An old man from the Sky Mountain sword sect, who had flown tens of millions of kilometers away, bellowed with a gloomy face. That's right, Elder. The Dragon Palace is too disrespectful. Let's join forces with the 9th grade heavenly sect and annihilate this arrogant guy. Another hot-tempered middle-aged man suggested. All right, cut out these useless words. The elder of the Sky Mountain sword sect was also gloomy. He had not expected the Dragon King to look down on them. However, it was impossible to start a war with the Dragon Palace just for a few corpses of the abyss species. There are hundreds of abyss species and over a dozen immortal king level ones. We have only harvested a dozen over this period of time and only one immortal king level 1. A few old men beside him grumbled, obviously unwilling to accept this outcome. However, the Dragon Palace was too strong. If they were not strong, they would have dared to attack. Let's go to another place and see if we can hunt some immortal king level abyss species. The Sky Mountain Sword Sect elder said with a gloomy face as he flew towards a direction. Elder, there are people over there. Should we hide? After flying for a short while, they saw a group of more than 300 people not far away. An old man whispered to them. In the abyss, one must be careful when encountering others. Since they could not escape back to the godly nation directly, there were many killings in the abyss. There were even people lying in ambush to steal others' spoils of war. But they seemed to be acquaintances? The Sky Mountain Sword Sect elder looked over and raised his eyebrows when he saw a few old men. Let's go over. Looking at the group not far away, his eyes flashed as he flew over immediately. The rest of the experts from the Sky Mountain Sword Sect were slightly surprised. As they sized up the group, their eyes slowly lit up. Greetings, Lone Mountain Ancestor of the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. Greetings, friends from the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect. The Sky Mountain Sword Sect elder flew over and cupped his fists with a smile. Chapter 2572. When the people from Tianshan Sword Sect flew over, the people from the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, the Monster Slayer Sect, and the 3 Seas Sect also looked over. What can I do for you? The 9th Grade Heavenly Sect's Patriarch swept his gaze over them and asked indifferently. The other party was an existence of the same level, so the 9th Grade Heavenly Sect's Patriarch was relatively polite to them. Everyone, I have something to tell them. We met the Dragon King and his group in that direction. The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect pointed at the back and said, Where is the Dragon King of Dragon Palace? Are you sure? Behind him, killing intent flashed in the eyes of the 3 Seas Sect's sect master as he immediately asked, Yes, we're 100% sure. As for whether or not they've left, we're not sure. The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect nodded heavily. Why are you telling us this? Moreover, we are not here for the Dragon King. The leader of the 3 Seas Sect still wanted to say something, but the Patriarch of the 9th Grade Heavenly Sect waved his hand and stopped him. They didn't have a good relationship with the Tianshan Sword Sect, and it was obvious that the Tianshan Sword Sect was plotting something by telling them this information. Grade 9 Heavenly Sect Patriarch, we won't hide anything. Just now, we were chasing a group of abyss demons, but they were robbed by the people of Dragon Palace. Our Tianshan Sword Sect doesn't have any top experts, so we could only let the Dragon King of Dragon Palace take it. The elder of Tianshan Sword Faction said, Oh, how dare the Dragon Palace snatch your prey? The 9th Grade Heavenly Sect's Patriarch raised his eyebrows. They even dare to offend the 9th Grade Heaven Sect and everyone here. What else do they not dare to do? The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect said in a low voice with a dark face. That's true. The old ancestor of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect nodded lightly. We're just informing you. We don't have any other intentions. It's impossible for our 9th Grade Heaven Sect to harm you. Farewell. The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect cupped his fists and left with his men without saying anything else. Ancestor, can their words be trusted? An old man asked as he watched the group from Tianshan Sword Faction leave. There's no need for them to lie to us. Judging from their expressions, they can't be faked. However, they also want to kill us with a borrowed knife. The 9th Grade Heavenly Sect's ancestor said indifferently, I don't care if they are trying to kill us with a borrowed knife. Our main purpose is to hunt down the experts of Dragon Palace. The 3 Seas Sect's sect master spoke without a care in the world. Go! The Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's Patriarch nodded coldly and flew in the direction the Tianshan Sword Sect's group had pointed. Elder, will the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect go there to hunt down the people from Dragon Palace? After the group from Tianshan Sword Sect left, a middle-aged man could not help but ask, what can the people from the Grade 9 Heaven Sect, 3 Seas Sect, and Janwa group do when they mix together? Do you believe that they are not here to kill the Dragon Palace? The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect smirked and said confidently, Their strength is much stronger than that of the Dragon Palace. If they really went to hunt down the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, the Dragon Palace would definitely suffer heavy losses. A middle-aged man's eyes lit up with excitement. The Dragon King can only blame himself for being too arrogant. Everyone's eyes shone, and their faces were filled with mockery and schadenfreude. If the members of Dragon Palace are really there, don't let them escape. Kill as many as you can. I'll hold that Dragon King back. On the other side, the Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect ordered the surrounding crowd with flickering eyes. Yes, even if I have to suffer heavy injuries, I'll make the people of Dragon Palace pay a hefty price. The sect leader of 3C's sect suppressed his violent killing intent and bellowed in a low voice. The 3C's sect hated the Dragon Palace the most. Conceal yourselves and be careful. Don't get discovered immediately. A Sixth Order Immortal King from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect whispered. The group of people flew forward, trying their best to conceal their figures. When they stepped into the area where Roving Heavens and the rest were, the mysterious demons that were hidden in the void immediately turned around and looked ahead. Leader Roving, there's a group of experts coming our way. We can't fight them. A mysterious demon immediately transmitted his voice to Roving Heavens. Someone's coming? Roving Heavens was slightly shocked. Take the dragon blood and escape to the Dragon King immediately. Without any hesitation, he ordered all the members of the Dragon Palace. The rest did not hesitate and immediately came out of the concealment array and flew towards where Wang Xian was. There's someone ahead. They should be from the Dragon Palace. We've been discovered. Chase them. Behind them, the group from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, who were concealing their auras and rushing over, was shocked when they saw Roving Heavens and the rest escaping. Damn, how did we get discovered from such a distance? Chase them. The sect leader of 3C's sect was a little embarrassed. Trying to escape? Stay here. The Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was filled with murderous intent. With a wave of his arm, bolts of lightning struck towards Roving Heavens and the rest. A signal for help? Tianshan Sword Sect? Wang Xian sensed the distress signal from Roving Heavens and the rest. Looking at the horrifying energy fluctuations coming from their direction, his face turned cold. Without any hesitation, he charged over. Are they from Tianshan Sword Sect? Courting death? Wang Xian's face was filled with murderous intent as he flew over. Around him, Ao Qi and Ao Xie sensed the situation and immediately flew over. Dragon King. Feeling the lightning behind them, Roving Heavens and the rest were embarrassed. Seeing Wang Xian charging over, they immediately shouted. Courting death. Wang Xian was infuriated. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone flew towards Roving Heavens and the rest. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Behind them, the attacking lightning was immediately blocked. Roving Heavens and the rest quickly flew towards Wang Xian. From the left and right, Ao Xie, Ao Qi, and the rest also flew over to meet up with Wang Xian. Wang Xian stood in the void and stared at the group of people ahead. Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, Monster Slayer Sect, 3C's Sect, Janhua Group, Black Forest Group. Seeing the clothes they were wearing, Wang Xian's eyes were filled with murderous intent. Surround them immediately. When the Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect saw Wang Xian attacking and realized that they did not escape, his eyes beamed with excitement. Great. The sect leader of 3C's sect and the rest were also filled with murderous intent. They knew very well how many people from Dragon Palace had entered this place. This time, they had also sent out nearly double the strength of Dragon Palace to hunt them down. In this abyss where they could not return to their own holy kingdom, they could carry out a wild hunt. Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and a bunch of small fries like you are really courting death. Seeing them flying over in an encirclement, Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he spoke coldly. Chapter 2573. Haha, Dragon King of Dragon Palace, you call us small fries. Let's see where you can run to now. In the abyss, an excited voice came from the sect leader of 3C's sect. He stood on the Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and stared at Wang Xian and his group with a hideous face. This time, they had finally found the opportunity. He wanted Dragon Palace to pay a heavy price. Hee hee. The rest of them heard Wang Xian's words and revealed a cold look. They swept their gaze across the experts of Dragon Palace with murderous intent in their eyes. About 140 members of Dragon Palace were all Immortal God King experts. On their side, there were 300 Immortal God Kings, including 5 Sixth Order Immortal God Kings. Compared to the Dragon Palace, their strength was much stronger than theirs. This made all of them extremely excited. This time, they could kill over 100 Immortal God King experts of Dragon Palace. Hee, I didn't expect you guys to find your way here. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and stared coldly at the people from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect. He didn't expect to bump into them in the vast abyss. However, this wasn't a bad thing for Dragon Palace. A Dragon King, there are many things that you didn't expect. But let me remind you that we are from Tianshan Sword Sect. The Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect laughed and said, "Oh." Wang Xian raised an eyebrow and his eyes glistened. "Are you trying to sow discord? Doesn't Tianshan Sword Sect know? You should be able to guess if I'm trying to sow discord or not." The Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect smirked. Tianshan Sword Sect wanted to use them to attack and even kill Dragon King and his group. Although they were here to kill those from Dragon Palace, the Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was more than happy to drag Tianshan Sword Sect down with them. The more forces that Dragon Palace offended, the happier they would be. "Dragon King, let's have a spar. I'd like to see what you, the newly risen leader, can do." As the Laozu of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect spoke, a sharp aura was released from his body. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and stared at him. "I'll take this." The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's patriarch laughed maniacally. His body was instantly covered with lightning, and a lightning hammer appeared in his hand. A thunder hammer appeared in his hand and struck towards Wang Xian. "Let me see what you can do." Wang Xian moved and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. He easily blocked the power of the lightning. His body shook and he flew up into the sky. Good. Leave this Dragon King to me. I'll leave the rest to you. Kill them all. Don't let a single one escape." The old ancestor of the Grade 9 Heavenly Sect laughed heartily when he saw the Dragon King flying up into the sky. Opening a battlefield with the Dragon Palace was exactly what he wanted. This way, the other people could surround and kill the 100 or so undying God Kings from Dragon Palace. Hee. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he saw the Laozu of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect flying over. His thoughts were the same as the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's patriarchs. "Leave no one alive." Wang Xian also roared. His arm instantly turned into a dragon claw and attacked the elder of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect. Myriad thunder rain. The eyes of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's patriarch shot out lightning, as if heavenly lightning had descended. Boom. In an instant, the battle between Wang Xian and the Laozu of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect erupted. Kill all the experts from Dragon Palace. Don't let a single one escape. As the battle erupted in the sky, the leader of the 3 Seas sect roared ferociously from below. "Leave no one alive." Roving Heavens and the rest stared at the group of undying God Kings surrounding them. Their eyes were filled with murderous intent as they said the same. "All right, leave no one alive." Roving Crab laughed eerily. The other party had 5 Sixth Order Immortal King Realm experts. Among them were Roving Crab himself, Roving Heavens, Ao Chi, Sly Demon, Duan Jinming, and a Devouring Dragon. That was a total of 6 Sixth Order Immortal King Realm experts. However, Roving Demon had the ability to instantly kill someone of the same level. In addition to the group of devouring dragons in his body, kill. Roar, roar, roar. Before the other party could make a move, the Berserk Roving Heavens, Ao Chi, and the rest waved the weapons in their hands and attacked the 3 Seas Sect's leader and the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's elder. At the same time, their bodies transformed into incomparably berserk battle forms. 2 different types of berserk dragons with the same aura. Courting death. Surround them. Surround them. On the other side, the 300 Immortal King Realm experts from the 5 factions roared as they surrounded them. Roar, 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 surround us? Roving Crab roared, his eyes filled with mockery. "Children, come out and fight." He immediately transformed into a 20,000-meter-long devouring dragon and roared. In the next instant, roving crab seemed to have turned into a berserk black hole, and roars could be heard from within. Following that, devouring dragons flew out of his body one by one. One of them even had the same size as roving crab, and it exuded a heart-palpitating power. Over 500 immortal King Realm devouring dragons flew out, their faces filled with savagery as they charged towards the 300 immortal King Realm experts from the 5 factions. Shit. Seeing the sudden appearance of over 500 immortal King Realm experts, the 5 factions experts' faces changed. Damn it, they actually hid over 500 immortal King Realm experts. The 3 Seas Sex leader's face darkened as he roared in anger. This dragon palace had actually hidden over 500 immortal King Realm experts since they came to the abyss. Did they know that they were here? At this moment, the 5 factions immortal King Realm experts felt as though they had fallen into a trap. Suddenly, a scream of terror rang out. The 5 factions experts' hearts pounded violently when they heard the scream, and they hurriedly looked to the side. On the far left, an old ancestor from the Monster Slayer sect raised his head with his eyes wide open, his face filled with fear as he trembled in the void. There was a claw piercing through his chest. A black and white shadow was attached to his back, causing his life force to rapidly fade away. See this. Everyone saw the black and white shadow, and saw the Monster Slayer sect's old ancestor, a 6th Order Immortal King Realm expert, and their hearts turned cold. At the same time, cries of agony rang out continuously. At this moment, everyone's faces changed as they looked around cautiously. Be careful, there's an ambush. The 9th grade Heavenly Sect's elder hurriedly shouted. Their foreheads were filled with cold sweat as they looked around cautiously. Surround them. At this time, Duan Jinming's voice rang out, and the Dragon Palace's 700 Immortal King Realm experts immediately surrounded the 300 Immortal King Realm experts. At this moment, the roles of the hunter and the prey had been completely swapped. Chapter 2574, Damn it! What's that? How can they hide in the void? Oh no, there are too many experts from Dragon Palace. At this moment, when the Dragon Palace members surrounded the experts of the 5 factions, when the spike dragons attacked, instantly killing 40 undying god kings, the Dragon Palace members had already surrounded the 5 factions. The 5 major forces felt their scalps go numb, their eyes filled with fear and terror. In just an instant, 40 immortal kings were assassinated. Among them, 1 was a 6th Order Immortal King, and 2 were 5th Order Immortal Kings. What shocked them the most was that after the assassination, the 40 figures disappeared once again. What was more shocking was that they couldn't detect their presence. This cold sweat broke out on the foreheads of the people from the 5 forces. Kill, don't let a single one of them escape. Roving Heavens let out a violent roar and charged towards them. Kill. Aochi followed closely behind. Shit, we're not their match. The 6th Order Immortal King from the Jianhua organization shouted as he raised the shield in his hand to defend. They're twice as strong as us, we can't fight them. There are still those strange creatures lurking around us, we're not their match. Everyone from the 5 major forces roared with incomparably ugly expressions. They were panicking. In the abyss, they couldn't escape immediately. Once they fell, they would be finished. Laozu, save us. At this moment, the experts from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect couldn't help but cry out to their Laozu. What? The Laozu from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was shocked when he heard the cry for help. He immediately looked down. When he saw that they were surrounded and there were 40 corpses in the void, his expression changed. Damn it, Dragon King, you're playing us. The Laozu from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect was shocked as he stared at Wang Xian with bloodshot eyes. Haha. You really think that our Dragon Palace doesn't have any defenses? A bunch of fools. Wang Xian sneered as he swung his dragon claws towards him. Damn it. The Laozu from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect's heart sank as he hurled the lightning hammer in his hand. At the same time, he wanted to fly down to rescue them. I'm afraid you're not strong enough to save them. With a wave of his arm, the 5 elements grindstone collided with the thunder hammer. At the same time, Wang Xian's dragon claw grabbed towards the Laozu of the 9th grade heavenly sect. Get lost. The 9th grade heavenly sect's ancestor shouted furiously. Haha, you want to get rid of me now? Aren't you thinking too much? Wang Xian's face was filled with mockery as he stopped him. Kill everyone else. At this moment, he commanded the Dragon Palace members below him. More than 500 devouring dragons roared. Their massive bodies charged towards the people from the 5 great forces. Breakthrough. At this moment, all the experts of the 5 forces were no longer thinking about killing the members of Dragon Palace. It was good enough that he could escape now. Breakthrough, breakthrough. One by one, the Undying God Kings roared. Even the 5 Sixth Order Immortal King Realm experts split up to break through. Let's stop them and try to make them all stay here. Duan Jinming roared and locked onto a 6th Order Immortal God King Realm expert. Ao Xie and the others also locked onto one each. All the experts of the 5 forces fought with their lives on the line, their faces flushed red as they tried to break through. However, escaping from the encirclement of the Dragon Palace experts was not going to be easy. Soon, 2 Dragon Palace members, and even 3 Dragon Palace members surrounded one of them. One by one, the experts of the 5 forces were completely locked down. Once they were locked down, it would be the stage for the spike dragon species. The experts of the 5 forces were already having a hard time dealing with 2 to 3 Dragon Palace members of the same level. Against the spike dragon's ambush, they would be heavily injured no matter how lucky they were. However, if they could not dodge in time, death awaited them. Another round of attacks, and over 20 Undying God Kings fell. Some of the experts of the 5 forces looked over, and their faces turned even paler. Over 20 Undying God Kings had fallen, which meant that there would be another 40 to 50 Dragon Palace experts of the same level attacking them. If this went on, they would all be finished soon. The 3 of us will break through from here. Quick, even if we're heavily injured, we have to break through. 3C's sect leader saw this and his heart tightened. He hurriedly yelled at the 6th Order Immortal Kings of the Janhua Group and Black Forest Group. Alright. The other 2 experts gritted their teeth as well. The 3 of them saw an opportunity, and even if they were to suffer heavy injuries, they had to break through. Stop them. Roving Heavens and Ao Chi swung their weapons towards the 3 of them. It's over. The 6th Order Immortal King's heart sank when he saw the attack behind him. They could not take this attack head-on, but if they stopped to defend, they would not be able to escape. I will avenge you. At this moment, a voice rang in their ears. Following which, the 2 experts from the Black Forest Group and Janhua Group felt a huge force landing on them. They widened their eyes and looked at 3C's sect leader in disbelief, their eyes filled with rage. Halberd Huangyuan. Bam. The rank 6 God King of the Jianhua Corporation roared in rage. However, in the next moment, a terrifying attack landed on the 2 of them. 3C's sect leader gritted his teeth and fled. Damn it. Behind, Roving Heavens and Ao Chi saw 3C's sect leader using 2 6th Order Immortal Kings as shields to break through their defenses, and their faces changed. At this moment, a scream came from behind. They turned around and saw a roving demon assassinating another 6th Order Immortal King Realm expert. Don't bother chasing, it's hard to catch up. Kill the rest. Roving Heavens pondered for a moment before speaking. 4 6th Order Immortal Kings were killed, 1 escaped, and the rest of the Immortal Kings had no way of defending themselves. One by one, the Immortal Kings were killed. No, Dragon Palace, just you wait. One day, we will annihilate you. Up in the sky, the 9th grade Heavenly Sect's old ancestor roared with an ugly expression as he saw the experts falling one after another. Not bad, one of your people escaped. Wang Xian sneered as he spoke to the old ancestor of grade 9 Heavenly Sect. Scram. The lightning around the old ancestor of grade 9 Heavenly Sect rained down on Wang Xian. but after he released his attack, he retreated into the distance. Wang Xian blocked his attack and was taken aback. "So you guys are the ones who got lost." He chuckled and did not pursue. Even if he could not return to his own god kingdom, it would be exceptionally difficult for Wang Xian to make him stay. Chapter 2575. Hee. Looking at the disappearing figure of the old ancestor from Grade 9 Heavenly Sect, he chuckled lightly. Dragon King, the leader of the Three Seas sect, escaped. Kill the rest, a total of 303 Immortal Kings and 4 Sixth Order Immortal King Realm experts. Roving Heavens flew over and reported to Wang Xian. Very good. Keep their corpses, we'll continue hunting for abyss species. Wang Xian nodded. The arrival of Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and the other 4 gave Wang Xian a good harvest. Over 100 Immortal King corpses and 5 Sixth Order Immortal King corpses. These resources were enough for the Dragon Palace to gain another 7th Order Immortal God King. As long as Dragon Palace has 7 to 8 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts, we can consider annihilating Grade 9 Heavenly Sect and the others. Wang Xian murmured. 7 to 8 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts, coupled with the array, could kill 4 to 5 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. Now, with the resources on hand, they could increase by 2. Excluding him, they needed 5 more 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts to guard Dragonstar. Let's hope we can gather all the resources in half a year, then we can make our move. He moved and led the members of Dragon Palace to fly in another direction. In the following month, Wang Xian and the rest continued to attract abyss species with dragon blood. After an entire month, they had gained a lot again. With all the resources on hand, they could create 3 7th Order Immortal King Realm experts. This kind of harvest can be said to be fast, but also slow. A month later, Wang Xian looked at the harvest in his hands. This kind of increase was extremely terrifying for any force. Still a little weak. We can only run when we encounter a larger group of abyss species. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows as he thought of the situation they had encountered in this month. Once the number of abyss species reached over 100,000, most of them had 7th Order Immortal King Realm abyss species commanders. Given Wang Xian's strength, they could only retreat when facing such a race. And all this was because they were too weak. Dragon King, we have a situation here. At this moment, Roving Demon flew over quickly and spoke to Wang Xian. What's the situation? He raised his eyebrows and asked immediately. Dragon King, we found an incomparably huge mountain there. There are many caves in the mountain, and we found that there are abyssal species inside. Roving Demon reported immediately. Bring me there. Wang Xian flew over immediately. This is? When he arrived, his face was filled with shock as he looked at the huge mountain in front of him. According to Wang Xian's senses, the entire mountain was about 2 to 300 million kilometers in size. As for its diameter, he couldn't sense it at all. The pitch-black mountain stood tall in the abyss, looking exceptionally magnificent. On this towering mountain peak, there were densely packed cave entrances. Some were big, some were small. Some abyssal species could be seen entering and exiting the place. This is a large abyssal race. Wang Xian squinted his eyes, which were burning with passion. Encountering such a large abyssal race, and one that had its own territory and domain, was dangerous but also a fortuitous encounter. Once they could hunt down this large abyssal race, the harvest would be abnormally terrifying. Take out the dragon blood immediately. Let's see if we can attract some here. Also, get Roving Heavens and the rest over. Wang Xian squinted his eyes. If the dragon blood could lure out the abyssal species inside, then they could hunt them endlessly. He wouldn't have to spend a lot of time looking for it. Moreover, according to Wang Xian's estimation, the number of abyssal species in this race was definitely not small. There should be hundreds of thousands of them. Yes, Dragon King. Roving Demon nodded. Soon, all the members of Dragon Palace gathered. Swoosh. Wang Xian waved his arm and a puddle of dragon blood was placed in front of him. Hide. He said softly, immediately hid himself and stared at the position in front of him. Squeak, squeak, squeak. JJGA. It was so fast that Wang Xian and the rest were shocked. One by one, the abyssal species flew out from the mountain peak and flew towards the direction of the dragon blood. JJGA. A powerful abyssal species spread its wings and flew over at a terrifying speed. But at this moment, the ball-like abyssal species flew over at an even more terrifying speed and slammed into another. Bam! The massive force immediately sent it flying. Behind, tens of thousands of abyssal species peeked out from inside, emitting a deathly and terrifying power. There are rank 7 Undying God King abyssal species, and there are 2 of them. Wang Xian frowned when he saw the ball-like abyssal species and the abyssal species behind it that was filled with bone spikes. We can't fight them. Go, let's escape. Wang Xian did not hesitate and immediately ordered all the members of the Dragon Palace. JJGA. However, the moment they moved, the abyssal species behind them sensed it and let out a series of roars. The ball-shaped abyssal species at the front flew to the side of the dragon blood and swallowed it directly. Following which, it stared at Wang Xian and the rest with bloodthirsty eyes. Roar. The next moment, it roared and chased after them. Oh no, it's catching up. Speed up. Wang Xian saw the abyssal species chasing after them, and the tens of thousands of abyssal species did not hesitate to chase after them. Wang Xian cursed under his breath. He enveloped the members of the Dragon Palace with his energy and joined in immediately. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Roar, roar. However, the abyssal species did not give up. It roared angrily and chased after them. This bunch of guys. Wang Xian ran for half an hour. Seeing the 2 abyssal species chasing after him, he was a little embarrassed. Get out. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. After hesitating for a moment, he flew towards the exit. He was prepared to make a trip back to the Dragon Palace to enhance the strength of the Dragon Palace and convert all the resources into combat power. Behind him, the 2 level 7 Eternal Lord God Realm abyssal species chased after him for a total of 20 hours before stopping. In the middle, Wang Xian had no choice but to keep roving demon and the rest into the mother nest. After 20 hours, Wang Xian slowed down with a dark expression. Fortunately, he was a level 7 Undying God King. If he was a level 8 Undying God King, he would be finished. Phew, I'd better get out first. Wang Xian heaved a heavy sigh of relief and continued to head towards the exit. After staying in there for 2 months, he was still about 5 hours away from the exit. Just as Wang Xian was about to reach the exit, he saw some familiar figures. Looking at the group of people tens of millions of kilometers away, his eyes lit up. Tianshan Sword Sect. Chapter 2576, Sigh. It's been 2 months and we've only gained a little. Moreover, Attendant Feng was also severely injured. The best one was the hundreds of abyss species. Damn, if it wasn't for the Dragon King, those abyss species would be ours. I wonder if the second-class 9 heavenly sect annihilated the experts of Dragon Palace. If the Dragon Palace didn't leave, they would have suffered heavy losses even if they didn't annihilate all of them. Not far from the exit of the abyss, the people from Tianshan Sword Sect were discussing among themselves. This time, the Laozu of their sect had led them into the abyss. In the end, they had gained little in the past 2 months. One of the attendants was even ambushed and almost died. This caused their expressions to turn extremely ugly. The thought of the opportunity to kill hundreds of abyss species was snatched away by the Dragon King of Dragon Palace made them even angrier. Now, they were praying that the people from Dragon Palace would flee after being chased by the second-class 9 heavenly sect. Shut up. At this time, the elder of Tianshan Sword Sect, who stood at the front, suddenly said in a deep voice. The crowd was slightly shocked. The other experts sensed something and looked to the side immediately. That is? Dragon King. The people from Tianshan Sword Sect were slightly shocked. Subsequently, they pursed their lips and kept quiet. What brings you here, Dragon King? When the elder of Tianshan Sword Sect saw Wang Xian flying over, his eyes flickered as he cupped his fist and asked, "Nothing much. I just want to ask you a question." When Wang Xian noticed the group of them, he flew over immediately. He swept his gaze across the people from Tianshan Sword Sect, sensed the surroundings, and asked with a smile, "What's the matter, Dragon King? We'll definitely tell you sincerely." The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect was slightly puzzled and asked immediately, "A month ago, the bunch of idiots from the second-class 9 Heavenly Sect rushed over immediately after you guys left. A Laozu from the second-class 9 Heavenly Sect said that you guys told them we were in this direction." Wang Xian squinted his eyes and asked them, "Is this true?" His eyes flickered as he sized up the expressions of the people from Tianshan Sword Sect. When he finished his sentence, he clearly sensed the slight change in some of their expressions and their eyes widened. Even the elder of Sky Mountain Sword Sect at the front froze. "Dragon King, we have no enmity with you. How could we do such a thing? It must be the 9th grade Heaven Sect who deliberately sowed discord between us." The elder of Tianshan Sword Sect immediately explained, "Is that so? But from your expressions I can sense another answer." The corner of Wang Xian's mouth curved slightly as he looked at them mockingly. His words changed the expressions of everyone in Sky Mountain Sword Sect. The Tianshan Sword Sect's elder's heart tightened. "Dragon King, we can guarantee in the name of Tianshan Sword Sect that we didn't do such a thing." "That's right. The grade 9 Heavenly Sect must have said those words on purpose to sow discord between our Tianshan Sword Sect and the Dragon Palace. If a conflict breaks out between us, the Dragon Palace will not only have to face them, but also the Tianshan Sword Sect. They are trying to push our Tianshan Sword Sect to their side on purpose, and then join forces with us to fight against your Dragon Palace. So, this is just a trick of the grade 9 Heavenly Sect." Next to him, a middle-aged man also spoke. From his words, there was another meaning. Don't push the Tianshan Sword Sect to the opposite side of the Dragon Palace. Because once the Tianshan Sword Sect and the Dragon Palace became enemies, they could annihilate the Dragon Palace if they joined forces. "Hehe, I already know the answer from you guys." Wang Xian smiled faintly. With a slight movement of his hand, the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. In an instant, a terrifying aura shrouded everyone in the Tianshan Sword Sect. "What? Oh no!" Sensing Wang Xian's terrifying aura, everyone from the Tianshan Sword Sect was horrified. "Dragon King, what are you trying to do? We are disciples of the Tianshan Sword Sect. If you attack us, the Tianshan Sword Sect will not let you off. When we join forces with the grade 9 Heavenly Sect, your Dragon Palace won't be able to resist us." The elder of the Tianshan Sword Sect narrowed his eyes as he warned Wang Xian. "If you want to harm our Dragon Palace, you will have to pay a heavy price. Die." Without any hesitation, Wang Xian shrouded all of them with the 5 elements grindstone. "Dragon King, you are making an enemy out of the Tianshan Sword Sect." An expert from the Tianshan Sword Sect roared furiously. "Oh no, run." The elder of the Tianshan Sword Sect roared immediately. "You want to escape? Do you think you can? Since you dare to plot against me, go to hell." Wang Xian's eyes were filled with ruthlessness as the 5 elements law of annihilation descended. "It's over. No, no, no. Dragon King, stop. Otherwise, the Tianshan Sword Sect will not let you off." The group of people roared in fear. The 5 elements grindstone descended and shrouded them with terrifying energy. The weaker ones died instantly. Even the elder of the Tianshan Sword Sect was severely injured. He wanted to escape, but he was too close to Wang Xian. With a difference of 1 level, there was no way he could escape. "Dragon Palace, you will definitely be annihilated by the Tianshan Sword Sect." The elder of the Tianshan Sword Sect roared in despair. Wang Xian sneered. With a wave of his arm, all the corpses were kept into his space ring. He swept his gaze across the surroundings, but no one saw him. "A bunch of idiots. Since you dare to plot against us, you will have to bear the consequences." Wang Xian murmured. He didn't care about killing the people from the Tianshan sword sect at all. After all, no one would know that he was the one who killed them. Even if they knew, so what? With the addition of the Tianshan sword sect, the Dragon Palace would still be able to resist. Moving his body, Wang Xian immediately flew out of the abyss. Arriving at the main road at the entrance, he flew towards the center of the South Star system. The Dragon King is out. When Wang Xian disappeared, two middle-aged men on the land plate at the entrance of the abyss whispered to each other, sending the message out. More than a month ago, the 5 major forces suffered heavy losses. 5 sixth-order Immortal King Realm experts were killed, and the remaining experts numbered more than 100. This made the 5 major forces even more furious. Even the old ancestors of the 9th grade Heavenly Sect wanted to kill their way over. But after much hesitation, they did not make a move. However, the battle between them had just begun. Not bad. After rushing for more than 10 hours, Wang Xian arrived at the Dragon Palace with a smile on his face. Looking at the rewards, he was in a good mood. Prime Minister Turtle, use all these resources to increase our high-end combat strength. After that, we will enter the abyss again. Wang Xian called Prime Minister Turtle over and took out all the resources. With the addition of 3 7th-order Immortal King Realm experts, Wang Xian could bring them to the old nest to give it a try. Chapter 2577. Back in the Dragon Palace, Ao Qitian, Ao Yao and Ao Qi immediately entered the Dragon Transformation Pool. This time, Wang Xian was prepared to raise their battle strength to the 7th-order Undying God King Realm. Apart from that, Wang Xian would use the rest of the corpses to increase their battle strength. Over a dozen 6th-order Undying God King corpses, and even more 5th-order and 4th-order Undying God King corpses. These over 1,000 corpses would all be used to increase the battle strength of the 6th-order and 5th-order Undying God King Realm. When he stepped into the abyss again, Wang Xian was prepared to bring all of them to the nest of the abyss creatures. If he was lucky enough to capture a dozen 7th-order Undying God King abyss creatures, then the strength of the Dragon Palace would increase tremendously. As the days passed, the strength of the members of the Dragon Palace increased rapidly. However, at the entrance of the abyss closest to the South Star system, a group of experts from the Tianshan sword sect stood not far away, their expressions extremely ugly. It's already been 5 days, and 6th Elder and the rest have yet to come out. An elder looked at the bottomless abyss in front of him with an ugly expression. Within the main sect, once an expert led a disciple into the abyss, there would be a fixed date. Normally, once an expert led a disciple into the abyss, there would be a fixed date. However, it had already been 10 days, and there was still no sign of anyone. In the abyss, one could not return to their own god kingdom directly, nor could they communicate. If they did not return for a long period of time, it would mean that they had met with danger. Damn it, with 6th Elder's vigilance, he should be fine, unless he really met with a powerful existence, an existence that cannot be resisted. A middle-aged man bellowed with an ugly expression. This time, they had sent over a dozen Undying God Kings and an Elder. This was a considerable force for the Tianshan sword sect. Let's wait for another 5 days. If they still haven't returned after 5 days, then something must have happened. The leading elder let out a sigh and said, "The people from the Tianshan sword sect have been waiting there for a few days, waiting for their members." At this time, in a restaurant far away, 2 middle-aged men looked towards them and whispered, there should be experts from other sects that have yet to come out. The 2 of them spoke, not paying too much attention. They were mainly here to monitor the Dragon Palace. Another 5 days passed. Within the Dragon Palace, Roving Demon, Roving Heavens, and Roving Chi had completed their advancements. At the same time, there were 15 6th-order Immortal King Realm experts and 45th-order Immortal King Realm experts. Wang Xian swept his gaze across them and revealed a satisfied look. "Let's go." His eyes flickered as he immediately gave the order to his members. This time, there were still 200 members, but there were a total of 4 7th-order Immortal God King Realm experts including him. There were 15 Sixth Order Undying God Kings and 45th Order Undying God Kings. The rest were all Third Order Undying God Kings. 200 members, almost 80% of the core members of Dragon Palace. Go. After flying for more than 10 hours, Wang Xian and the rest arrived at the entrance of the abyss and flew towards the land. Let's go. It's been 15 days. Sixth Elder and the others should be dead by now. Wang Xian and the rest had just arrived on land when they saw a group of people flying out. He swept his gaze over them and a cold smile appeared on his face. Tianshan Sword Faction. He mumbled as he flew towards the abyss. Let's go straight to the nest of the Void Mountain. If there's another 7th Order Immortal King Realm Abyss species, we'll be able to kill it. Wang Xian's eyes shone with excitement. Increase our speed and fly over, he said as he flew towards the nest of the abyss species. As the distance was relatively far, it would take at least a few days to fly over. When Wang Xian and the rest stepped into the abyss again, news of their arrival reached the 5 superpowers. But this time, the 5 superpowers did not take any action. The Dragon King is leading the experts of Dragon Palace on the move again. What should we do? Are we just going to watch? On a planet in the territory of Rank 9 Heavenly Sect, the leader of 3 Seas Sect roared in a low voice. Previously, only he and the old ancestor of Rank 9 Heavenly Sect had escaped. They did not discover that he had killed 2 experts from the Jianhua Group and Black Forest Group. Now that he received this news, the leader's face was contorted. Previously, the 3 Seas Sect had also sent 60 Immortal King experts. Now, the entire 3 Seas Sect only had slightly more than 100 Immortal King experts. Because of Dragon Palace, the entire 3 Seas Sect had suffered great losses. But the more it was so, the more the leader wanted revenge. He wanted to annihilate Dragon Palace. He wanted to kill everyone in Dragon Palace. The current Dragon Palace had almost become the heart demon of the leader of 3 Seas Sect. We suffered great losses the last time. That Dragon King is so cunning. Unless the 5 superpowers gather all their experts, it will be too difficult to annihilate them, the CEO of the Jianhua Group said with a gloomy face. Their losses the last time were too great. Their Jianhua Group only had 4 Sixth Order Immortal King experts, and they lost half of them. If this continued, they would not be able to afford it. Most importantly, the Dragon King had brought along 700 Immortal King experts and that mysterious assassin. If they wanted to annihilate the Dragon King, they had to use all their strength. Even the Rank 9 Heavenly Sect had to send out all their experts for that to be possible. Send out all our experts? The Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's Vice Sect leader frowned, and his expression changed. Right, I received a piece of news. At this moment, the Demon Slayer Sect's sect leader suddenly raised his head. What news? The group of experts looked towards him. I received a piece of news from Tianshan Sword Sect. The experts from Tianshan Sword Sect that went to the abyss this time might have fallen. And I heard from sect leader Ji that Tianshan Sword Sect was the one who told them the location of the Dragon King, and that there was a conflict between Tianshan Sword Sect and Dragon Palace. The Demon Slayer Sect's sect leader said indifferently. You mean to frame the Dragon King? Sow discord between Tianshan Sword Sect and Dragon Palace? That's not possible. The Rank 9 Heavenly Sect's Vice Sect leader frowned, and then shook his head. According to the news we received, when the Dragon King came out, the people from Tianshan Sword Sect had disappeared. The Dragon King has a motive, and it's a coincidence. The Demon Slayer Sect's sect leader's eyes flickered as he continued. Even so, without concrete evidence, Tianshan Sword Sect will not make an enemy out of Dragon Palace. Furthermore, we have such an obvious motive, and Tianshan Sword Sect is not stupid. An expert from the Black Forest Group frowned, feeling that it was not feasible. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.